Hey, this is Mike Hambright. Welcome back for another Flip Nerd VIP show. Today I have with me Crissy King, who is the president of the Midwest Investment Club, which is an investment club in Madison, Wisconsin. We're going to talk to her, learn more about her a little bit and about her club. Before we get started, let's take a second to recognize our featured sponsors. RealtyMogul.com is an online marketplace for real estate investing, connecting borrowers and capital from accredited and institutional investors. Get a rehab loan fast and close in as little as 10 days. Rates start as low as 9%. We'd also like to thank National Real Estate Insurance Group, the nation's leading provider of insurance to the residential real estate investor market. From individual properties to large-scale investors, National Real Estate Insurance Group is ready to serve you. Please note, the views and opinions expressed by the individuals in this program do not necessarily reflect those of FlipNerd.com or any of its partners, advertisers, or affiliates. Please consult professionals before making any investment or tax decisions, as real estate investing can be risky. So, Crissy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. So, what's the weather like up in Madison today?
It is snowing crazy here today.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, I'm in Dallas, and quite frankly, it's kind of cold here, so I'm sure it's cold up there. But wanted to learn more about your investment club. Before we get started, though, I'd like to learn more about you and your background, kind of how you got started in real estate investing, and I guess your motivations for even getting involved with the club.
I actually got my real estate license about 8 years ago. So I was a stay-at-home mom, and I just did a little bit of real estate on the side. I started working at Keller Williams then, and I was working with an attorney, and he actually had the club at the time. Okay. So I was his personal assistant, took on a lot of his buyer clients, and he decided that he was too busy with his law practice to do the club, so he just gave me the club.
All right.
Figure out what to do with it.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your club. You serve, I know you said you have maybe around 120 paid members, and you serve investors of all types, single-family homes and commercial and everything in between.
Yep, do everything. Most of the people that come to meetings, we have a variety of people. We have the ones that are just starting, the ones that are getting back into it. We have our seasoned investors. We have a lot of hard money lenders that come looking for people to pair up with to invest.
Okay.
I try to have a variety of different types of speakers there that isn't just real estate, other types of investing, which I don't do a lot with, like IRAs or doing things like that. But I have people that are educated in that to be able to help people use their other money to invest in real estate.
Okay. Well, for those that know me, they know that I'm a true believer in the power of real estate investment clubs. I mean, that's where a lot of us, even the most veteran people in the country, started, was learning from people at clubs and the speakers that clubs bring in and vendors that clubs bring in and things like that. It's interesting for clubs that they tend to serve many, they have a lot of different clubs have different purposes. Some serve themselves and have businesses of some sort, whether they're attorneys or other things, and hope to get clients from it. Some are trying to find ways to partner with folks on deals and things of that sort, or have some sort of coaching program. Can you talk a little bit more specifically about your club, and then I want to get your take just in general on the core mission there for you as the president?
Well, as me as the president, my main mission, I think, is I want to see club members work together. I want to see deals being done within the club so that the newbies that come in pair up with the veterans and be able to do their first deal. I have several members in my club that can't pull the plug, and they've taken classes and spent thousands of dollars on classes, and they could have probably bought their first property in what they spent on classes. Not saying education is not important, because it is. Right. So my goal is to get these newbies to come in with a veteran and buy their first property. So I'm developing a mentor program for them to be able to do so.
Okay. And that in your mentor program, tell us a little bit more about that. Are you pairing them up with mentors? Are you providing some mentoring support? Or?
I mean, I feel like I have some support, but I feel like I'm still a little green because I haven't done a ton of it myself. but I'm really good at seeking out the properties for others to buy.
Okay.
The mentor that I've added to the club has 20 years experience. His name's Steve Gilbertson. He's been doing it. He's done commercial, he's done development, he's done single family home. He's been in the business for 20 years. He's got a background in accounting and mortgage. So ideally, I think he is a great candidate for mentoring people because he's done every type of deal.
Okay. Okay.
So he will have his own way he does the mentoring, if it's like taking a cut of the first deal or how he decides he wants to do that. And that will just be a service I offer.
Okay. Okay. And one thing that I think a lot of clubs struggle with is how to kind of monetize and justify the money that you have to spend to run a club and things like that, where there's a balance between having speakers come in that are, selling things and providing good information. There's a balance there somewhere. What do you think for real estate investing clubs, what the right balance should be, or everybody has an opinion on that, but
I mean, my club, pretty much everything I make on the club goes right back to the club.
Sure.
So that's what I spend on speakers. I'm in the process of designing a new website because I feel like that's really important because I didn't have the greatest one before. But I think that, I'm not in the club, to profit off the club. I want people to get a benefit from the club. So pretty much everything that the club generates goes right back into it, having it at a nice facility, having speakers, buying dinner and lunch, doing things like that to show the club that everybody's there to benefit the club, and it's not just about me as the president walking off with a big chunk every month from the club, because that's not how it is.
No, and I don't think, in all honesty, I don't think most clubs make money off of the club. I think, if anything, they justify it by that being a path to do deals together or bring business into whether they're an attorney or brokerage or whatever it might be, to drive business into their kind of core business, and this is a path for that. So that's always interesting to me to hear how other people run their club and how they kind of monetize or justify the expense of the club, because I think in many ways it's a thankless business. I mean, there's no doubt there's a lot of work and organization that has to happen to pull off successful events.
That is for sure.
Yeah. So how often do you have events in your club?
We meet the fourth Wednesday of the month. And then as the new year is kicking off, eventually I would like to be able to offer some classes. And then I would do those every other month is what we're thinking. I've just added some core members to help me with organizing stuff, just because, the real estate thing isn't all that I do. So it's time for me to have some club members step up and help organize things. And that way they're more involved, and we can get different types of speakers that they may have access to that I wouldn't. Or I make sure that I get a meeting content that everybody wants to come to try to generate more attendance at my meetings.
Okay. And for the speakers that you have, do you feel like, and I don't know the answer to this, are you sought out for speakers to come talk to your group, or is it more of a challenge for you to find good content to bring people in?
It kind of goes both ways. I try to, just this past month I had someone come in and speak about all the changes with tenant and landlord laws, which is really important because a lot of us have rental property. Right. When it gets closer to tax season, I always have a tax person, but I do get sought out by a lot of different people, but a lot of them are selling product that I don't think is something that'll benefit the club. So then I don't necessarily let them in front of my group.
Right.
So I'm kind of selective on who I bring in front of the club.
Right. Okay. And talk a little bit about how you're going to grow your club from here.
Well, I'm thinking that generating a better website will help me with that.
Your website looks better than most for most REI clubs. Most REI clubs, even some very large ones, are still using meetup.com as their primary platform. So
yeah, so I'm still working on that. Getting better speakers, offering classes that will benefit. And the classes that I'm going to offer are going to benefit the newbies, the ones that they just need to do that first deal, right. Walking them through their first deal. I think I have enough experience. I could probably walk anyone through a first deal. Having a core group of contractors in the group too, so that the newbies, when they come in, they have someone that can do the landscaping, someone that can do the, if they don't want to be a general, and different people that are involved in the club that we generate and use the club for all the investing properties and stuff that we do, because there's a gob of us that are realtors, but there's a lot of other services that club members offer that I think could benefit each other too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think about, just trying to think of where real estate investment clubs, just in general, not necessarily yours, where do they go from here? It seems like there is more opportunity to do things online because, as typically when you have a meeting, a relatively small percentage of your folks actually come because you have to go to one physical location and fit into a specific time. I mean, do you think there's opportunities to grow with more online offerings?
Yeah, I think that is something that we're looking at with my website, to be able to offer some things on that. I think via Skype is going to be huge, that people aren't going to come to meetings anymore either, that they can do stuff from home. So I see a lot of changes that, but I actually discourage some of that stuff because I'm a hands-on person. I like to look at someone when I'm talking to them. Yeah. So I'm not encouraging that as much. And we have a lot of members really enjoy just coming to the meetings and physically picking someone's brain, because you can send someone an email, but it's just not as personal. So
sure. It'll never be a replacement, but just a supplement to do some additional things. Yeah. The physical networking is never going to go away for sure. Yeah. Well, so tell us about the kind of layout of the Madison market. So are there other clubs in town?
Well, there's my club, and then recently, I think it was last year, there is a Madison REI Club. Okay. So a lot of the members that are in my group are in that group as well, which I encourage that too, because he offers different things than I do. Okay. So I think it's beneficial for them to see two completely different clubs, and we're both successful. Right. We have probably a similar amount of members. He does more mentoring, I think, and coaching. I don't offer as much coaching, but I'm just starting with the mentoring. So we have different ways we run our club. So I think that's beneficial for people to be members of both clubs.
Yeah, that's great, because in a lot of markets, in all honesty, the club owners are feuding, or they don't, they wouldn't send members of their club to another club. So that's great to hear that. And I think that's a shame in some instances. I understand kind of why it happens, but I think it's a disservice to the member, because at the end of the day, they want to build their network and learn, right? So,
and I know Milwaukee, I believe they have 3 or 4 clubs down there too. So I mean, that's only an hour and 15 minutes. So occasionally I will go to other club meetings down there just to get a different type of perspective on how they run things, because we all run them differently. That's for sure.
Yeah. So you also, tell us a little bit more about you. So you also are an agent?
Yep.
Is that your primary business?
Yep, I work for Building Equity Development is the name of our company. I'm also the executive director for the Wisconsin Landscape Contractors Association. Okay. So that is another part-time job that I do. I work exclusively with landscapers, contractors, irrigation specialists, and we're a small little nonprofit group. So I organize our Garden Expo, all the civic projects that we do in the community. I get all the contractors to volunteer their time, organize all the product that gets delivered to all of these events. Okay. So that's another job that I have also. Okay.
You sound like a busy person. I think a lot of us, I really love, talking to folks that are hard workers, because there's so much of that's missing these days in America. So I always appreciate talking to folks that work hard and wear a lot of hats. I mean, that's where it's at. So awesome. Well, anything else you want to share about your club, or obviously tell us how to find your club?
Yeah, we're the MidwestInvestmentClub.com. We meet the 4th Wednesday of the month in Madison at the Coliseum Bar. So just look for us online. You can sign up for a free membership or a free trial membership. And then eventually there'll be all kinds of goodies out there for the future. We're still working on that.
Sure. Okay. Well, anything else you want to tell us about your club today?
Nope, I think that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for joining on the show today.
Yep, thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Are you a member of FlipNerd.com, the most robust real estate investing platform in existence, where you can find off-market wholesale deals and great vendors literally in your market? You can get access to advice from experts and learn about local clubs and events right in your backyard. If not, please visit flipnerd.com and register for a free account. You can register in less than a minute. It's pretty much the coolest site that's ever existed in the real estate investing industry. So get on over to flipnerd.com.